Subnautica 2 is out, and it is a massive, massive success. And more importantly, it is a huge win for gamers. More about that in a little bit. But first of all, Subnautica 2 just got released yesterday. Technically, it has not even been a real 24 hours later, and the peak player count was already at 467,000. And there's a good chance that it will be broken in the upcoming 2 days, obviously, because it's the weekend, and that is the big one. In any case, the sales for Subnautica 2 are already huge. It has officially been announced by the people making this game that Subnautica 2 has sold 2 million copies. And that means that IGN has already gave them a 7. That initial review said too much water. It's a water game! What the hell are you even... I'll contain myself, but know that IGN makes me quite angry most of the time, and I think that's reasonable. In any case, it doesn't matter what IGN thinks, they're irrelevant. They like garbage, we like the good stuff. Hopefully, admittedly, Subnautica 2 does not make the last expansion that Subnautica 1 had. What was it called? The ice one. Yeah, people absolutely did not enjoy that one. Because 1, it wasn't that great, and 2, it was kind of woke. Subnautica 2 has had a history of woke, and that's what we're also going to be talking about. The fact that that is over, boys. In any case, 2 million sales already done, which means that the Krafton CEO is probably asking ChatGPT once again how he cannot pay out the developers 250 million in bonuses that he promised. Because my god, this has been probably one of the stupidest deals of the decade. Not as stupid as Sony obviously buying the company Firewalk Studios that made Concord for more than $500 million. Nothing's honestly gonna beat that. But this is pretty stupid nonetheless. Mistakes were obviously made. And the most important part, this is a win for gamers. This right here was how Subnautica was initially given to us, proposed to us. This was what Subnautica 2 was supposed to be. That's right. Almost gender ambiguous, not exactly black, but definitely not white, and this is what they tried to sell to us. And gamers rose up. When this was announced for Subnautica 2, because again, Subnautica has a history of quite a few woke problems. Subnautica 1 with their, what's the Ice DLC called? I forgot, because I'm not a Subnautica player. I have not played Subnautica, but it does look like a game that I would be interested, but I have other stuff going on, sadly. Maybe someday. Maybe Subnautica 3, who honestly knows. But this is what they tried to sell us. This was what Subnautica 2 is going to be like. And I was there. I made videos about this. Gamers were absolutely losing this. Everyone was calling this DEI, dead on arrival garbage tier. Because it was. It definitely was. And now, this has been officially replaced with this. Yes. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Flat. Pretty much, this is literally what you get when you hire Anita Sarkeesian. I wonder if they actually hired her and then they threw it out. But this is what we're getting now. Yes. A woman. Looks female, doesn't have a man jaw, I know, breaking stuff for modern day game developers, and has a bust, yes. And there's even cake. Pokemon would be proud, because she can't stop that. And, well, we have more. This was initially also marketed as the male option. Not exactly black, but definitely not white. Same thing, complete garbage. Look at that non-existent bulge, bruh. Absolutely disgusting. And then, this was what it wasn't technically replaced with this, but this is what we got. Granted, well, Subnautica has never really stood out with the craziest most good-looking models in general, and this is not the best shot, honestly, but this is what we got. This is it. Now, granted, it's not like they just literally threw this out, but they decided to do this. And if you can look closer, you can see that this is what's happening. right? This is what's happening. You have the option of her, this dude, who looks like this, and look at this. It is what it is, boys. This is what the players wanted. Okay? Personally, I didn't, but whatever. And then we have actually these characters. And you can actually tell now, they're no longer this agenderless, indistinct creature features. They're now black. Mostly because of the dreads. And stupid hairstyle. But it is what it is. That's just the way that listen. Show me a single game that has made a black character not giving it dreads instantaneously. I absolutely love wokeism in games when it, circles around itself that much that it becomes hilarious. For example, that every single character in games that's black needs to have dreads, otherwise it's not going through, okay? It is what it is. And this. Now, and they are distinctively different, as you can also see. It is very nice that we actually have now options. And again, Subnautica 2 desperately, Crafton desperately wanted to sell us this. And then gamers said, this is stupid, this is disgusting, we don't want it. The outcry when people saw this was actually massive because, needless to say, Subnautica is a huge franchise. I mean, literally day one, 24 hours have not even passed since the release of the game, and it has had almost 500,000 of concurrent players, and it has sold 2 million copies. Now, granted, currently this is an extreme version of fans are buying it instantaneously. So this is actually also the first time we get to see Steam numbers like this with confirmation, at least. Typically the sales are at a 0, and then it goes plus 50% to sales or minus 50% to sales, depending on how people are perceiving it. Currently, it's the mega fans buying it. Because again, the outcry of Subnautica when we got this was massive. Absolutely massive. There were countless videos going viral. There were tweets going absolutely ballistic when people saw this. So, the current 2 million copies sold, when people start noticing that we're actually talking about a game where you can actually be whatever you want and it's not woke garbage, and currently I can tell that, again, not a Subnautica player, haven't played it, probably won't play it, even though it currently does look like a good game, because from the gameplay I have seen, it does look like it has everything that people liked about the first one, and it has improved on the things that previously people said and wanted or thought they were lacking, which means it's just a fun game in general. And all the people who are not buying it day one, because that's the smart way to do it, folks, remember, do not buy day one. That's just gonna make you hurt, okay? My wallet's non-binary, so should be yours. But, when people notice that this is actually going to be how normal things happen, and as far as I can tell, there's also no pronouns here. I mean, it's called Pioneer, not whatever. But there's no pronouns as I can tell. But you can tell that this is kind of old because it's customized Pioneer, because they don't want to be like male, female, or whatever. But at least they have toned it down. This is still a win. We literally brute forced them from this into this, which is massive. This is massive. This is a pat yourself on the shoulder type of situation. And obviously we can make fun of IGN for giving it a 7. And this is, by the way, Travis Northup, my favorite. Travis Northup, friend of the channel, by the way, friend of the show. Who is absolute god of IGN. He gave Marathon a 10. No, Marathon a 9, sorry. And then he called Crimson Desert bad for all the same reasons he gave Marathon a 10, but Crimson Desert was bad. This guy has pretty much hated everything gamers have liked, and liked everything that gamers have called absolute shittery. It is beautiful. And by the way, this guy, the guy who gave Mixtape a 10, is the guy who failed the Cuphead tutorial. Yes. It is the guy who failed Cuphead's tutorial level. Could not get past it. Or he did after like an hour or something. It was ridiculous. A legendary moment in gaming, nonetheless. And the big takeaway is, by the way, to end off the video because, you know, I'm starting to ramble. It is what it is. But I like the video. Thanks for listening. Second, I greatly thank everyone who does. Spread the good news about Subnautica. Maybe still don't buy it. I mean, give it a little bit of time. Maybe I'm actually saying something wrong in this video, but currently it doesn't seem wrong. So, as much as I know, I'm not currently wrong. Maybe I'm proven wrong. Always be careful. Again, non-binary wallets, boys. It is what it is. But this number, 2 million, is going to rapidly approach probably 4 to 5 million. Because again, people are just vetting. People are scared to buy it because they're not sure that, you know, this is gone. And it is. So when news spreads, people are going to buy this, and this is going to catapult to 4 million sales probably. And then the Crafton CEO is once again going to ask ChatGPT how can he not pay the bonus, and it's going to be great. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.